everybody! Today's definition shall be, guess what? Ear. The ear is defined as the organ of hearing and balance in humans and other vertebrates. An ability to recognize and appreciate music or language. A willingness to listen. Do you know that people have more sympathy for the blind than they do for the deaf? Because actually, when you're blind, it's more visible. People don't really know what it's like, what kind of things deaf people undergo. So if you know somebody that has hearing problems, you should also lend a sympathetic ear to them. Because sometimes, you don't know what they're feeling. It could be their nerves are hurting them and different kinds of things. So if you know of somebody, who can't hear when you speak, you shouldn't be getting upset at them. You should just lend a sympathetic ear. Anyway, other phrases that people use using the word ear is keep one's ear to the ground. Be well informed about events. That's what it means. And then there's also the phrase be out on one's ear. That means to be forced to leave a job. So if somebody tells you, be out on one's ear, it means that they are forcing you to leave a job. I don't even know why people need to be forced to leave their jobs. I mean, as soon as, they're being told to leave, it shouldn't be forced. They should be happy. They should say, finally, I'm free, I'm leaving a job. People act as if it's the end of the world when they're being told, to leave their job. You have to be happy. I mean, that is what happiness is. But I don't know. It just seems like the complete meaning of happiness has been reversed. People seem to be happy when they get the job. I mean, that should just be the most disappointing, most horrible thing to happen when they say, yes, you've gotten the job. Yuck. Be here in the morning at 8 o'clock. Leave in the night at 12 o'clock. Overtime is not included. Yay, I got overtime. No, it's all wrong. You have to be sad when they tell you, you've got the job. Oh, I did. Oh, no. Life is over. Because life is over when you have a job. Of course, if they were to tell you, like they caught you sleeping or something, or you fell asleep on the keyboard, or they just don't like you and they tell you, you're fired, you should be like, thank you so much. Because you see, you have to be grateful when people tell you to leave. So you can never really be forced to leave a job. So I really have no idea why, people are being forced to leave their jobs. They should leave it happily. In fact, people have to clear the way, because when they tell the employee, you don't have to come back to your job, the employee will be running out of there so fast, they might actually trample someone on the way out. So I have no idea why one has to keep one's... Ooh, what was it again? Oh, yes. Why does one have to be out on one's ear? Because I really don't know. Nobody is really forced to leave their job. Yuck. What an ugly word, job. Ugh. Oh, let's see what else. Well, hey, again, I know I just defined job a little earlier as to being something horrible, but these are jobs that, require no talent. Because when you work for Miss Divine, that's not really considered a real job. That's considered very important matters. And in fact, everybody works very hard for Miss Divine. I mean, we have me musical who goes out and tries to get interviews, and you'll see me on the street or see me doing definitions. And then you will see the other heavy-duty characters like Russian Mafia Super. Do you know how hard he has to work just to even throw his voice like that? And of course we have all the editors, the Miss Divine who edits everything. That's a lot of hard work. So in addition to editing, then you have to do backups, and then you have to buy a lot of DVDs and make sure you back everything up. Then you have to buy tapes and make sure that, you have enough tapes for all this kind of footage. Sometimes the camera breaks, then you have to go and buy a new camera. And then you have to update the website, make sure, it's working to some level. And there are a lot of things that actually need to be maintained when you work for Miss Divine. So as you can see, everybody involved in Miss Divine's Heure is always working 24 hours actually. They're always working. If they're not editing, they have to be doing something with their website, or they have to be acting, or rehearsing, or working on the sketch film. And it's a lot of work. And of course, if some of you out there think, oh, it's so easy. Okay, it's so easy. Well, let's see you try it. Oh, yes, you try it, and let's see how easy you think it is, huh? It will never do. I don't have words for people like that. Hopefully people like that don't watch the show. But that's how it would be if you have a job working for Miss Divine. It's a lot of work, actually, but it's not that kind of work where you want to be fired. It's actually enjoyable work. It requires a lot of energy. But once the ideas and the wonderful creative visions are actually seen on film, that's the real reward. So that's what it's like working for Miss Divine.